Welcome back to Full Circle with Wikali. Now, yani, pesa ni muhimu tuongelele. It's never enough conversation. There's so many things that are around money, and that is why it's about that time for Money Circle. And on money today, we are talking about loans. Yeah, those things that asking is very nice, and then paying is very not so nice. Those are the things you're talking about. And having this conversation with us is a financial consultant, Joseph Washira Kimani. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Kindly introduce yourself to the people and maybe what firm you work with, what it is that you do, so that people even understand the background that you have and the authority over this particular subject, Joseph.
Okay. My name is Washira Kimani.
Yeah.
And a trained economist and accountant. Currently, I'm working in a real estate company. I'm heading a real estate company. But all my professional life, I've talked about money, trained on money. I even have a company that I packed at some point that trains on matters finances. So I talk money, live money.
And loans is part of that conversation.
It sits right in there. It sits right in there.
There are different kinds of loans out there.
Now, we have so many loans,
Yes.
but I can broadly categorize them into two.
Okay.
There is what I can call a good loan and a bad loan.
Ooh, yes.
Let's
talk about the good one first.
So we can come and list student loan, emergency, car loan, all that. But they fall ideally into those two categories.
Okay.
Now, a bad loan is where you take a loan that has no benefit to the one who is taking the loan.
Okay.
Or the one that comes and kills any future prospects to that person. That's a bad loan. Like today, an example, if I take a loan to go and pay my rent, that's a bad loan.
Terrible loan.
Okay. Or with these mobile loans and everything else, the statistics that has been shown that there's a lot of borrowing of that money, saa tano saa sita usiku, which with a young person, and if you're able to zone where they're doing that, they're borrowing that loan when they're in a pub or something.
Yes.
That's a bad loan.
Bad loan.
A good loan is where you are able to put it in and is able to give you returns within the shortest time possible. So whatever categories of loan there is,
Yes.
they fall under those two broad categories.
You know, I was watching Real Talk, Mr. Mima's show, and there's a lady who, they were talking about finances, the lady who actually took a loan to buy a bigger TV.
That happens.
A bigger TV.
Yes. What happens, and especially when people are between age 25 to age 30,
Yes.
there's a lot of mistakes that happens around that time.
Because
that's a time that people want to set their standard of living. So they end up even doing what I can call ridiculous things to get there.
Yeah.
They want to show their friends that they made it in life. They want to show their friends that if you can do that, I can also do this. It's why you want to stay on this side of town and not the other side of town. So we make a lot of mistake around that time.
Yes.
But sadly, we have even people who are in their 30s and their 40s who are still making the same mistakes.
Yeah.
So it's about your personal conviction. Or let me say this, it depends with your attitude towards money.
That's true. Because the same lady continued to say that she wasn't able to pay up the loan, so the TV was taken.
Was repossessed.
Yes, it was repossessed, and she paid off the loan later. But she's thinking of getting another loan to buy a bigger couch. I couldn't get it. I didn't understand it. But what are some of the things that we need to look out for? What should I know before going out to get a loan?
Several things that should come before you even consider taking a loan.
Okay.
And the first thing is, what do I want to do with that loan?
Okay.
If you don't have a reason, an actual reason, and buying a bigger TV, buying shoes, buying handbags, buying all sort of things does not qualify to be a good reason to do that. Ama kuambia mwili pole. There's a lot of loans that are taken on Fridays, by the way. That does not qualify to be a good reason.
Okay.
What qualifies to be a good reason is, if I take amount X and put it in an in whatever venture I'm getting into, what are the possibilities that I'm going to make money off it? If I can even put a disclaimer.
Okay.
If you want to make it in life today, don't use your money in investment. I know it's a contradiction.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm lost for a second. I was just like, what did he just say? Please repeat.
For you to make it big in life, you cannot afford to use your money. You can only use somebody else's money, which is a loan.
Okay.
So if you look at everything that's happening, we have an express highway that's just being constructed out here.
Yeah.
It is a loan.
It is a loan.
The building we are in, chances are it was built via loan. The big, the SGR. So all those are loans. But the why should be what should come out first. So the first thing is, what do I want to do with the money? 2, can I even afford it? Because I need to look at my current circumstances. Because if you look at your income, there are those things that you have to incur, whether you are earning or you don't. Your rent, your food, all that. Consider your budget. Can you afford to do a repayment of that loan?
The loan, yes.
And the other thing is that now you come and look at, if I have a reason and I can afford it to repay the loan, the third thing should be then, where do I go for that loan?
Yes.
Because there are some loans that if you go for them, they are very cheap and they are paid over time. But there are some loans that you take today and in 30 days somebody is demanding back the money.
Okay.
There are some
Do
loans
you have
that,
examples of these places so that you just tunachanua watu leo?
okay. One of the things you can do, the easiest to be and the worst them all, is what you can call Shylocks. Shylocks is, so you take a property,
Yes.
give it to them, and they give you money, a percentage of whatever it is. That's the easiest and most likely no question are asked. It's a worst kind of a loan to take. Second thing is mobile loans. Mobile loans, they are not very far from.
They're instant,
But if you look at the interest,
very high.
I just attempted the other day just to take a loan from Tala just for the sake of it.
Yes.
But when you look at the interest rate of all those mobile service providers, it's pretty high. It's between, I think, 9 to around 20% a month, which means if you borrow money over 1 year, what you end up paying, you are paying over 3 times the money you've borrowed in a year. So that's the second.
I hope that's loud enough for everybody to hear.
Yes.
My goodness.
Mobile loans are very expensive.
Yes.
Most people consider them because you just need to do something hash and the money comes.
Yes.
But repayment becomes difficult. The third one you can do is now from a SACCO. And this becomes the easiest and the best way to borrow money. SACCO becomes the best because you save money, then you borrow money depending on how much you put it in. The other one you can go for a financial. Banks. Banks can do, but now it also depends with how does the bank view you. Are you a dangerous borrower? Are you somebody who can be trusted with money? Have you defaulted before? So they're going to check on your history with loans. They're going to check, do you have mobile loans? Have you been paying? How many other loans you have? They have a way of doing that background check. There's one that we recommend when people are starting off business, which is the cheapest, which is family. Family and friends.
Yes.
They can become the best support structure if you're starting a business, and they can be able to read it. Though most of the family members, you come and tell them you want to start a business, they have more reason why you should not start the business than why they should lend you money. But now when you have a big project,
Yes.
we can be, you can be able to get what you call international investors. We have people we call angel investors. For young people, those who have no history with money and everything else, but you have a good idea, you have people we call angel investors who can come and pump in money because they're supporting the idea.
Okay.
Then you can also get what you can call the international investors. And the international investors are very good because if today I take a loan with a local bank today, end of the month, whether the business has taken off or not, they need money repayment. But you have those international investors who can be able to give you what you call a patient waiting period, which means they give you a loan and they tell you for the next 1 year, do not pay. Then after
That's
that, they restart.
beautiful.
So we have all those categories
Okay.
that can be able to explore.
I've had a controversial statement.
Yes.
Well, you've already said that we need to get loans for us to make it in life. Look at it this way. I'm starting a business and I have not been able to get these international investors. It's a fresh business. I've never done it again. So I'm borrowing money to start a business, which ideally sort of like looks like a good loan because it's getting money. But the thing is, most of the times we don't know if this business will work or it will not work. Would you advise someone to pump in money to a fresh business that they're starting off from the ground?
If you are to start a business today, there are several things that you need to do.
Okay.
And one of it we need to look at is the previous speaker was speaking about solutions.
Yes.
Any business that starts in life is because you're providing a solution.
Yes.
Then you monetize the solution. It is that simple. I'm offering a solution.
Yes.
Then for that convenience, I monetize. I make my money off that thing. Now, whatever business you're getting into, you need to look at, is the market ripe for that idea, business idea? So that you're not just duplicating an idea you had of somewhere.
Yeah.
2, you need to come and look at what are the direct costs to that business. Because most people, when they're starting business, they don't critically look at the cost factor of that business. The third thing is that why are you sourcing the materials? If you're selling physical things, where do you source? How do you bring them to where you are? How do they get to the customer?
Okay.
Then the last thing that you need to look out is, basically what I'm talking about is feasibility. What's the feasibility around that business idea? Because the stupid most ideas end up to becoming the biggest things that are making money. And even if you are to start a business today, you don't just start a business and you have that tunnel mind that have to go this direction.
Yeah.
The market will get to a place and determine and dictate that you head in a different direction. And that's what we call in the finance sector, can you be able to pivot? If you get a business and you're walking in a certain direction, at some point it's not going as you want, can you be able to pivot and change directions within the shortest time possible? And a young business is able to pivot.
Yeah.
It's able to pivot very easily. But if today I go to a big multinational, assume I go to the Coca-Colas of the world and tell them, stop selling sodas and start selling water, it will become a very hard idea. Or tell them, stop making soda and start baking cakes. It becomes a very hard idea.
Yeah.
But if I have a business and I have only 1 or 2 employees, pivoting becomes very easy, because all I need to do is just change the setup, and I'm in business again.
Okay.
So feasibility becomes very, very critical. But as I said, your business must be offering a solution. Do not duplicate somebody else's idea. Come and ask yourself, am I adding value to the existing idea? What will I give? Am I going to give efficiency? Okay. Am I going to save cost? Or is it just a new way of doing things? If these 3 are not satisfied in a business set, then maybe it's not a good idea to start a business.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
So before you go get that loan money, you just need to go through all these things. There's no point of taking money,
Yes.
starting a business that you haven't done your due diligence in terms of research,
Yes.
and losing it all plus the business and the money, and now you have a debt that you need to keep paying, and now you don't even know where the money is coming from. When you go to ask money, say from a bank, what are some of the questions that you will be asked, and what are some of the answers that you should not give?
Okay, one of the key things they want to know is, especially from the bank setup, the first question they ask is, how much money do you want?
Yes.
Then from there, they want to know, what are your income sources? So basically what they're looking, can you afford to do this repayment? And how secure is that repayment? Because for them, what they're looking at, can I get back my money? With corona or without corona, can I be guaranteed of getting back my money? If they get to a place and maybe they view you as a dangerous person, what they're going to do is either request for security and other documentation that can be able to verify the information that they are there.
Okay.
But even as you go that, one of the things that you don't need to tell them,
Yes.
and these are controversial, do not tell them where you're going to take the money.
They always ask what you want to do with the money,
Yes.
so that is
It can be used.
to
It
keep.
can be used to kill the idea. For this idea, for this reasoning.
Okay.
There's some people who would think, and the person giving you the loan may not think that that idea is viable, that you can, baada ya kufanya hivi si ungefanya hivi. They would want to twist the idea, all assuming they, like in the real estate, they've gotten to a place where they think that developer, we've dealt with that developer before, why are you giving them the money? So they'll stop the money. Okay, so if you give them reason why you want to do this, that can become as a very good reason to throw it is that proposal of getting money out. Second thing is that your bad experience with money. We start saying, oh, I borrowed Tala, I was not able to pay. Oh, niko na fuliza sijalipa. When you start giving your bad history with money,
That's it.
that's it.
That's it.
That conversation
It's
is
a wrap.
it's not going anywhere.
Yes.
The third thing is that when you start saying how economy is bad, how my income is not stable, how I had to park my car because I cannot service it. If you start giving your money problems at that level, chances are to bring issues.
You will not be given money.
And the other thing is about if you start expressing the negativity around maybe the business idea. Ati biashara naingia lakini ni Mungu tu ataipe. You know, when you start putting in any negativity and any cloud, any shadow of doubt around the business,
Yes.
that will not go
Okay.
anywhere. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a few questions here. Where are we? Hi, Mwikali, enjoying the show. Ask him about loans taken for academic purposes, like master's degree. Is it recommendable? Wiki, I don't know. You've just left your SMS right there, but the question is,
education is an investment. In fact, there are three things that you do with money that even if you take a loan, you're investing. And the first person is about self. If I'm investing in education to improve my skills, chances are in the employment circle, I'm going to move vertically.
yes.
I can be promoted, or I can move horizontal to a new industry with prospect of new money coming in. So if you're able to borrow money with a very particular purpose of increasing skills or learning a new way of doing things, by any means, by any chance, do it. But young people, most young people finish my undergraduate, then take a loan to do masters without even having the work experience that dictates what masters you need to do.
So you already have a loan that you need to pay for, and you have no source of income.
No source of income. But if I have my undergraduate, and my undergraduate, I go into the job market and this goes and says, we require somebody who has good proficiency skills in IT.
Yes.
So at that point, you start scaling yourself towards IT. Or if your business wants somebody to learn about international relations or diplomacy, you start inclining towards that. And if you're able now to align yourself that way, it means you are building your career and chances of making more money are there.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. We have about 2 minutes to go, so I'm going to read this one's pretty first. Hi, Mwikali. So it's nice to watch the show. I'd love to ask him, if I am a student and I want an educational loan, how can I acquire one?
Okay. For students, the government has opened up the higher education loans board to most of the students, those who are either in tertiary colleges or in the universities. So that can become your first, easiest way to do it, because all they need to do is verify your Wachira, where are you going to school and everything else, and from there they can be able to remit the money to the university directly. Because currently there is a new parastatal called COOPS. I think it's Commission of something. It's on that once the students have done the exams, they take all those students and they allocate them to universities, both public and private. So they're doing that through public and private universities. And through that, what you call COOPS, you're able to apply for higher education loans board. And those loans, you can apply them. And they're very cheap loans because you pay at 4% a year.
That's good.
4% a year. But it has a tagline. Once you start working or once you finish education, in 6 months or a year, they start expecting repayment from you. And if you don't pay, every month of non-repayment, you pay 5,000 shillings plus penalties. So it's a good loan because at that point you don't require any security. The other thing would be if you are of age and you can be able to put yourself in a circle. Most circles are able to advance what you call educational loans. They are cheaper and they give almost, I think, 3 or 5 times of how much you have put in. And you can be able to have sufficient time to repay that because you have 36 months to repay that. So circles become the easy one, and through the government, through what you call the Higher Education Loans Board.
All right. Our final question this morning. Who are these international investors? And what are the requirements?
Now, I may not be able to... They're there. And in fact, we have a lot of those international investors locally today. What we need to do is that, as we have that sit down, is to ask yourself, what are the governance structures around your business? Because they want to be guaranteed. If I put money with Mwikali today, will that money come back? So they need to come and ask themselves, one, has the business, does it have structures? Or is it Mwikali is the CEO, the accountant, the sweeper, the what? They need to have the governance structures around the business. Second thing is that, how do you handle money? If you're paying for an invoice, who raises it? Who raises it? Who authorizes it? Who pays it? They need to know how do you handle your finances. So finance need to be very critical. The other thing they would want is that they want what you call audited accounts, and from there they can be able to come and verify. So other than the business idea, because they can come and look at the business idea, is fine. But for that international investor to be able to do that, he needs to verify the security around money. And most of what you call the international investors are the people who are looking at, can they invest more than $1 million? Okay, so it's not that I want to set up a kiosk and I'm looking for the internet.
No.
It's that big idea that I
that
need
you
to
have.
verify.
Okay.
And most of the ideas that we have, in fact, even the ideas that have gone international started as very small ideas, or the only thing they need to was just to look at how do I blow it up.
And when you get an international investor or an angel investor who can help you just pump it up a bit, then that works magic.
Yes.
How can people get in touch with you? Offices, for consultancy, and all of that?
In the real estate, my office is in Westlands. Sarit Center, there's a building called Western Heights. I'm on first floor. But on consultancy basis, you can get me on my personal cell, which is 0714 101 000. It's a very easy number.
Yes, it is.
0714 101 000. Or send me an email at info@iandj.co.ke. All questions be answered from there.
Thank you so much for coming through.
You're so much welcome.
It's been a great morning, good people. That's how you start your Monday, pumped up with information and inspiring, empowering, entertaining, educative, information for you. Let's do this all over again tomorrow. It's been lovely. Have a great, great day. Adios.